is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. You might be starting off your business, your Pokemon side hustle, your trading card side hustle, and you may not have a lot of available money. You might be grinding along. Maybe you're doing this for a little bit and you're trying to figure out a way to maybe get a little bit of a head start, maybe a little bit of a jump. And a lot of people will look towards going into debt, taking out credit cards, taking out various ways or loans to get some fast capital injection to start buying and selling cards. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. Anything in this video is not financial advice at all. But if used properly, you can use borrowing and credit and a lot of other avenues of leveraging to help you grow your business. And I wanted to talk about that because I've been throwing that word leveraging around a lot in the last couple of videos. And I kind of wanted to tell you, again, not financial advice, but this is how I'm going about this responsibly to get a little bit of a, not necessarily ahead of the game, but to get myself a little bit of a pep up. So we're going to go into detail on what I'm doing, and it could be something that will be good for you. Ideally, having any kind of debt isn't necessarily the best thing. However, a lot of big businesses, they use debt. Now they do debt in the appropriate ways, which is why we're going to talk about that. But before we do, if you don't know who I am, my name is Bronzgod, and I sell trading cards on Tcgplayer and eBay. We've been averaging about $40,000 a year in sale, mostly in bulk. We are looking to exceed that by the end of the year. We also have two different other channels, one for weight loss, one for gaming. Both of those will be in the description below, so check those out if you like. And we have a list of affiliate codes, of which we have one with more coming. So if you want to check that out, you can save a little money. I can make a little money, and we can both win. So in the beginning of this channel, well, the beginning of me doing the how to start a trading card side hustle business part of this channel, I talked about how I got out of a lot of debt. I spent about 2.5 to 3 years just grinding, and working extra and selling cards, and I knocked out about $25,000 to $30,000 worth of debt. It's why I'm not as far as I probably should be right now. That's why when I talk about being jealous or maybe looking at other people and wishing I was there, I see where I should be in those people. But again, that's something I did, my fault, and we're making our way now. So we got out of debt, and the last thing I ever want to do is be in that much debt ever again. There will be situations where you might have to take out a loan, or if you're in a situation where you have a brick and mortar store and you're making invoice purchases. There's all sorts of different things with wholesalers where you have like 30 to 60 days to pay invoices, this, that, the other. You might buy it on a credit card and then transfer to something else. There's ways to do this without accruing interest and keeping debt. But that's why I wanted to talk about this. So I'm going to stress this one more time. This is not financial advice. This is what I'm doing, and I'm going to explain to you how I'm doing it. Just to show how you can do this responsibly if you decide that you want to go down the route of trying to leverage in a responsible way. The big reason a lot of people get in trouble doing it, especially now and especially with Pokemon, is like for sealed, for example. There are so many people that are trying to play the market, right? The market on sealed products. So they'll take out a $10,000 loan or some crazy credit card, buy a bunch of sealed, and then let it sit in hopes that it will appreciate, and then they can sell it for more. One of the biggest examples of this is Chaos Rising. Rudy from Alpha Investments he did a huge video where he had like 7,000 Chaos Rising ETBs shipped to him because all these people who were botting and all these people who were doing other means of acquiring product got this all. The product didn't do too well, so they had to fire sell it because that credit card bill was coming due. That loan bill was coming due. So they had to liquidate it all, break even, maybe even lose a little, just so that way they weren't on the hook for the interest that was going to accrue or any other the painful things that could happen by keeping that much money out there for a long time. That's an example of the bad way to go into debt and go into leveraging for your business. What I'm doing right now, I have been trying to keep $2,000 to $3,000 minimum in my business account. Right now, I've got about $2,500. The unboxings that you've seen me do, I utilize pay in 4 services. I utilize the one good credit card that I have, which has about a $2,000 limit. And what I'll do is I will do, let's say the first Jumpstart unboxing we did. We bought about $2,000 worth of it. So I put all that on the credit card. I got it in. Now, we do the unboxing. We get it all listed with the goal, which usually this happens 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, this is how it works. All the big stuff goes first. So for Foundations Jumpstart, for example, your Scythe Cat clubs, your Rev Tithe Extractors, your Dionys Arch Elf, like all the big cards will go within the first two weeks-ish, right? You get 80% of that money back right away. You pay off that paying for that loan, that credit card, that whatever. That's what I did. I didn't get all my money back right away, but that's why I had that chunk of change right then and there. So that way I can pay it all off with the money I have saved. I give myself 30 extra days to accumulate the little extra that I need from my other sales, my other avenues, and then I don't have that debt. Then that money slowly sells over time with all the other slower stuff. Once we get that back, we do it again. We buy another one. So we did another round of Foundations, right? It comes in, we unbox it, take 2 to 3 weeks to get most of our money back. All the other sales that come in over that time, boom, pay it off. And then now, because we're not dealing with tens of thousands of dollars and we're only dealing with a couple thousand, we're making 100 here, 200 here, this, that, the other. And that starts to snowball. Where people get in trouble doing this is they will take out a loan or they'll leverage a pay in for, like a Klarna or a Shop Pay or whatever. They'll get that money and then they'll immediately put it into something else without addressing the original loan. The one thing you do not want to do is you don't want to pay interest. The minute you start paying interest is the minute you really dig into your profits, your any gains you can have. It's no bueno. You don't want to do it. So if you do any kind of leveraging, you need to make sure that whatever you leverage, you pay off right away. Any kind of credit you have, you don't want to hold a balance. You don't want to do it. And if you do, it's a slippery slope. I mean, like I said, I've been there before. I had $30,000 in debt. It was 80% my fault and 20%, I would say probably just life things that happened that I needed to use cards for. But my situation was so out of whack. It was like driving a car on square wheels. There was no good way to get from point A to point Z. I had it so destroyed that we had to level the playing field, get to zero, get this slow train, this slow nickel of bulk going. Now we have $200 to $300 a week just in the bulkiest bulk of bulk from direct. Pretty much every week, which is good. That's not counting eBay sales. That's not counting the orders I pack by hand. That's what makes this work. Now, do I plan on leveraging forever? No. I'm just doing it till I get to a point where I have, say, not even five. I would say $10. Once I can get $10,000 consistently in my bank account, then I am okay with being able to spend $2,000 a week doing it because I can just, blah, 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 just go over and over and over with that money. I can't right now. That's why I'm using the power of leveraging to do this the appropriate way. Would I suggest anybody do it? No. Again, not financial advice. But I know a lot of people out there will see all these people buying all these crazy amounts of product and, I want to start a rip and ship, right? So a lot of people, when they start a rip and ship, they'll go spend $10,000 on a credit card and then they'll open up their rip and ship, and then you might have like 5 people come in and buy packs, or you might go on like Whatnot or some vertical selling platform like that. Start a hit to your rip, someone hits a big pack, and all of a sudden you are completely hosed. It's so easy to get yourself completely screwed if you don't do any kind of borrowing properly and you don't do it responsibly. And that's why I wanted to talk about that, because I've been talking about it a lot in the last couple of videos, and I don't want to give anybody the misconception that I'm just like, Oprah Winfrey, you get some money and you get $10,000 and hey, $5,000 for you over there, buddy. That's not what's happening. I'm doing the bare minimum I need to a month or every week or every other week. I'm trying to do an unboxing basically every other week right now. And I'm going to get to the point where I do a mass opening every week. There might be a situation where there's no products that it's worth doing, and that's fine. At that point, I'll take that money and do something else. Maybe I'll just do a quick flip, get some ETBs on a sale and then sell them instantly for, $5 more. I don't know. There's ways to go about it that is very, very responsible. And I, as someone who just got out of a lot of trouble, I don't want to see anybody out there fall in the same road. So whether you're starting to do it now, whether you have plans of starting to try to make some money work for you that is not yours, make sure that you do this responsibly. Make sure you tackle it with the respect that it deserves, because it can get out of hand quick, and it can destroy months, if not years, of progress by not paying attention to the things that need to be paid. The bell comes, the bell tolls, the Grim Reaper of money will come for you, and you got to make sure you're able to pay. So, yeah, it was an interesting topic. Like I said, I've been talking about it a lot, and I wanted to make sure we addressed it a little bit. I've had a few people reach out to me about, leveraging and using credit to acquire products, and I'm not a tax guy. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't work at a bank. I don't know a lot of things I need to know about money, but the one thing I do know about it is never accrue interest and never hold a balance. So that's my plan. That's where we got. And we're going to go from there, and we're going to slowly grow and do what we do until we get to a point where we are just rocking and rolling, and I can't wait. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think I got right? What do you think I got wrong? Do you agree, disagree? Is leveraging something you should never, ever do, or do you plan on doing it in some kind of way, or do you already do it? Maybe you take advantage of the random credit card here to be able to get a little jump start on opening, or maybe a product release. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are about this topic, because I know it can be a little controversial. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a good one, and take care. Peace.